It is the Sit Down Zumock podcast, coming live and direct from two locations, Tampa, Florida, and somewhere on the outskirts of Cincinnati, Kentucky. I am the Z-Man, Florida's greatest comedian of all time. With me, as always, is Tyler. Tyler, how you doing? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Feeling good also.
Feeling good. Tyler's located in his vehicle, where I'm convinced he lives now.
It's a rainy day. That's why I want a van. I don't even have a wife and kids. I've been lying.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be funny. I got punked. Everyone got punked. This guy's living in his car. I love it. Listen, guys, if you're on the, I don't know where you listen to this, on Patreon, iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, Google Play, Amazon, let me know. Let me know where you listen, because I'm trying to figure out where the audience is, where you're coming from. And you can always contact me and email me directly, chadzumock3@gmail.com. I always check the Patreon messages, the DMs, and you could always email me. And I got a great email, Tyler. This one's coming from Tom. Tom goes, "Hey, Chad and Tyler, love the podcast. You guys have been doing a great job. You're really building chemistry. Since you guys like to take on controversial topics, where do you stand on the transgender swimmer, Lia Thomas, is her name, from the University of Pennsylvania, and her winning the 500-yard freestyle? Sorry, I can't.
It's a freestyle event, a 500 meter, maybe.
Is it? Yeah, 500-yard freestyle. That's all it says.
Have you seen the photo?
He goes, I'll take your I'll take your answers off air, like he called in or something. I'm looking at the photo of the transgender woman, Lia Thomas, and the three other ladies to the side with their little trophies. I'll let you lead this one off. Like
the three other ladies did that as like a
let me pull it up.
As like a what's the word I'm looking for? Fuck.
Look how fucked up this is, photo.
yeah. I just like I'm feeling retarded right now.
They're like women stick together.
Yeah. But look at that. That's a dude. that's a man. That is a tall man. Like,
who was this guy before he was Lia Thompson? Let's find out. I forgot. It was something.
I don't know that. I don't know his name or her name, however I'm supposed to say it. But was still a swimmer. Just swam against men and was ranked like 467th among men.
So he sucked,
right? I mean,
he sucked.
I guess. I mean, you were ranked, so you're not like terrible, I guess. But then decides he now wants to be a woman and is fucking shattering women's records. Like that one right there just beat a woman who won the bronze medal in the Tokyo Olympics. Like this is not fair.
I'm going to go in another direction. I'm going to surprise you right now. I think this fucking lady is a competitor, and I think she'll take any. I think she's the greatest athlete of all time. You
play to win the game.
And any way you can get an advantage, because competition's all about getting that advantage. You know, look what Lance Armstrong did with the blood doping, and Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, steroids, Sammy Sosa. You got to get that edge. And this motherfucker said, "Listen, I'm tired of coming in 400th. I'm tired of being ranked 400th. I know how to win. I'm going to chop my dick off." That guy loves swimming. He's like he's the Michael. He is like, Michael Jordan played with the flu and he won. Well, he chopped his dick off and won. So that guy, that takes balls.
That's the thing. So where do you stand if she didn't chop her dick off?
Hey, he just saw it. Listen, he saw a lane less traveled. He took a Chrissy Mara route. He's just like, okay, no one's in this lane. What am I going to do? Train, bust my ass to come in 400th, or become a woman and kill everyone?
Do you think she trains less now? So clearly, I don't need to.
Yeah, she's somebody. I guess compared her of the Jackie Robinson for being
Okay.
transgender and going into women, which I think is
being serious.
And 100%. Some feminist blogger.
Because that's hilarious. Is that racist?
See, we're such a weird world right now with wokeness. I mean, we gotta figure out what's racist, what's not, what lane to take, leave all women. So there's a lot of things we got to pick and choose from. And it's fun to watch these woke people navigate through this. They're like totally like choosing their words wisely and trying to, whatever the popular opinion is. But my whole thing
is kind of blowing up on them.
Yeah. My thing with this is like, I'm rooting because I like chaos and it's clearly wrong. I don't care where you stand, but it's so fucked up that we just got to bite our tongues and like, yay, equality. But because you never see like, there's a reason why heavyweight boxers don't fight like lightweight boxers. I mean, there's equal things going on. And
there's weight classes. Yeah.
There's weight classes. But on the flip side of that, Jessica Evil Eye, UFC fighter, could beat the shit out of me.
Well,
literally could fuck me up.
What is that opposite like sport where a woman could now identify as a man and come into that sport and beat the shit out of men?
You know what's funny? When I went to Kent State University, when I was in the best shape of my life and I was playing basketball every day, I would play with the women's players on the Kent State women's team. And they're good. They were fucking, of
course.
I was like, they were taking me to the hole. They were good, man. And they were athletic. Alana Bader, Don Zimmerman. I remember all of them. We play pickup together and we're still friends, Facebook friends to this day. And, women athletes are talented athletes, but it's just, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a fucking doctor, but we're stronger, faster, bigger. I mean, that photo alone just shows you.
I mean, that's the thing is you have to, it's the best in that sport as a male against the best in that sport as a female, depending on what that sport is, if it has to do with physicality and muscle and stuff, the man's gonna win. But so what is it like, acrobatics? Like if you do like a solo acrobat competition, would a female beat the man? You know what I mean? Like, what is that? What's that reverse? What's that sport? I'm sure there's one out there.
Here, I'll pull this up. And this wasn't a work. This was a true story. Because we're having a conversation. I know people don't like having conversations. They just like making statements. And if you say something different, they're offended and you're canceled. That's what it is.
I'm already prepping to be offended.
Good. Get a hashtag Ukraine thing going while you're at it.
Yeah.
Because that's like the trendy thing to do. I got to pull this up. Sorry. My apologies to everyone that's watching this on the video. My apologies to the people that are watching. Yeah, I don't know if you remember this gem here, but this is Jessica I and me arm wrestling when I was on my old radio show. And this is legit. Look at her. Look at her biceps and her triceps. Yeah. And look at me.
She's just having fun with you too.
And I was like in a pretty good shape at the time. Not great, but way better than I am now. I mean, look at her. And she legitimately won. Yeah. And she's a female. And obviously I played it up there where I'm on my back.
She's an absolute badass.
Yeah. So this actually happened. Like I gave her my all. Like it wasn't like she beat me fair and square and she was fucking strong as shit. I mean, so I don't know. But then again,
Yeah, but she's not going to go up against like Adesanya and expect to win.
Or if Jessica I were to go up against who's the other Stipe would fuck her up.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm on the line saying that. Stipe would beat the shit out of her.
That'd be domestic violence. Two Clevelanders.
Okay, I used to talk about this in my act. What if you have two gay male UFC fighters and they get married? Is that domestic violence if things go wrong? Like, who said that? I don't know.
Imagine being the cop showing up to that. Just like, fuck.
Whose side do I take, his or his?
Which one of you is going to leave for the
Is
night?
that domestic violence or is that a fucking competition? Two UFC fighters beating the shit out of each other because one caught the other cheating?
If you're the cop and you walk in and the living room has like 8 walls, just like the cage, then you just let it go.
Yeah, you get popcorn and crack open a beer. Put the nightstick down.
Feet off the wall. Feet off the wall.
Yeah. Put the gun holster down and enjoy the show.
Call in backup. Bring another 6-pack.
There's a comedian out of Los Angeles named Fahim Anwar. He was a Comedy Store guy. He's a friend of mine. He had this joke. I forgot. I'm going to fuck it up, but it made a lot of sense. Basically, he says he was watching an NBA game, and then the game was scored. It was even. Fourth quarter, very exciting. They cut to commercial, and it's a commercial for the WNBA. So his whole joke was like, hey, I know you're watching this amazing NBA game. Would you like to watch a lesser version of this? Like, did you like all those dunks? Because now you can watch these tomahawk layups.
Yeah, that's a rough commercial. But it's on purpose. It's inclusive.
I'm owning this Lia Thompson. In fact, I'm owning it just for because it's complete insanity. She's taken a total scholarship from somebody that's been busting their ass their whole life. But I think it's hilarious to like keep pushing her forward, like, and keep saying, yeah, you kill these bitches.
Yeah. I wonder how many people she has that are like truly like that though. Just like, fuck yes, you go, girl.
Oh, in this world, a lot. I don't know how, but even Caitlyn Jenner has come out because she's conservative saying it's wrong. I mean,
it is, yeah.
Caitlyn Jenner was one of the greatest male athletes of all time. It was undeniable. Bruce Jenner was on the cover of the Wheaties box. I have a joke about it, but how he single-handedly beat West Germany and Russia for the gold medal. So all that means now is West Germany and Russia lost to a girl. That's my old joke. It's on YouTube. But this is an interesting article. I want to bring this up because it's an interesting topic. NBC columnist argues that Lia Thompson should be celebrated like Jackie Robinson. This is where we're at. And at this point, it's all about fucking page clicks. I know what everyone's doing. They're all trying to outwoke each other. We might have the biggest kook of them all, self-described feminist sports psychologist and Purdue professor Cheryl Cookie, or I'd say Kooky. Is it Cookie? Kooky. It is Kooky.
It is kooky.
Yeah, this is a kooky take. Writing for the NBC News that Lia Thompson should be celebrated in the same terms as Jackie Robinson. I would like to go to phones to all my African-American people, what they think of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a brave moment in history.
What a brave moment in history.
Is it brave or is it cheating? It's fucking cheating, right?
I say cheating.
Yeah. It's Lance Armstrong doing blood doping. It's Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire doing steroids. It's cheating. But he did find a loophole. There was nothing in the clause of the contract. So he's
right.
a competitor. Fuck. I'm canceled.
Barry Bonds was not the only one. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, you can make but the fact, how many home runs did he hit? 81, just 61, something ridiculous.
It was, I don't remember the number, but it'll
never get broken again.
Insane.
I mean, Barry Bonds was headed to the Hall of Fame before he started doing that, but he saw the league, McGwire and Sosa. So he's like, I want to get into this. And next thing you know,
I just like it. It's so like, all right. So clearly there's a formula that works, right? So number 467, like 467th place in the men's league or whatever you would call it, goes and is now a woman and is shattering records. So what happens if 350th place decides to do the same, and then 200th place decides to do the same, and now your top 10 women swimmers are all transitioned women?
Man, this is where it gets confusing. Here he is. Did he have the actual surgery, this guy? I don't
know. I don't know.
Because if he has a dick, he shouldn't be in the pool with the women.
Just based on that smile, though, I could see that he's always wanted to be a woman.
Yeah, he was just like, it's how you feel on the inside. I always say in my act, I feel like a 7'1" black man. That's what I feel like. And I want the science. Let's cut off my dick. I want a big dick. Let's go. I don't know what the fuck. What was his name? This guy? Before she was a she.
I don't know.
Well, how come transgenders just can't have their own league? Am I out of line saying that?
I don't know.
But do they have to be male transgenders? Do they still have to compete? How about, okay, there you go. Females that want to become dudes who get dick surgeries. How about you go play basketball in the transgender league against the men, the women who wanted to be men?
It's like
duke it out and see what happened.
The unisex bathroom league.
The unisex league, and it's all fucked up. Like you're going to have like a Wilt Chamberlain scoring 100, who used to be a man,
right?
And then there's the WNBA player that's now a dude scoring 10, but dishing out 12 assists. I want to be transgender now. I want to be a woman, and I want to go to because I always wanted to play basketball. I had hoop dreams as a kid, but I wasn't good enough. I was on an intramural team. I wasn't good enough to play in the league or college. But what if I became a woman? I started training. Maybe the WNBA? Maybe? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What would my woman's name be? Catalina?
No, you'd have to Cheryl Kooky.
Cheryl Zumock. And I want, fuck yeah, dude. I got a goal in life now.
That's
at
it.
Age, wow.
You could be a walk-on. I'm
going to walk onto the I want to play for the Rockers. Wait, they're not around. The Liberty.
What is the, what's the locker room like then? Like you have to let her in the women's locker room, right?
I would think so. She's a she identifies. But what if you're a pervert? Like, what if I was a dude and I went undercover transgender just to look at some pussy?
Well, I think that's a concern because you don't have to have the surgery to identify as the opposite sex. So it's a gray area.
Am I out of line saying it's mental illness?
No, it is. I mean, a lot of like, well, I don't, I'm just like, it is mental illness.
I know I'm going to lose the transgender listenership. I know they're gone.
Well, but there is something there. I think like a lot of transgendered people before either having the surgery or making the full transition probably did do a lot of therapy because they don't feel as though they are in the right body. So is that some sort of chemical imbalance, something going on? Is there a pill that you could take? Is that wrong to say, to even offer some sort of medicine that lets you realize like the biological body you were born in? I'm going
to say this. I don't feel like I'm in the right body. I feel like I should have a six pack.
I was just going to say six pack for myself.
Jacked up, fucking sharp jawline. That's the body I should be. I don't feel right in this body. I don't like the dad bod, the beer gut. I don't like it. I'm not comfortable in this body. So what I need to do is fucking buckle down and change this body.
Plastic surgery.
But it's just available. I don't know. It's just like, am I out of line saying, suck it up, you got a dick. It is what it is. I wish we had a transgender on.
Yeah.
Do you know any transgender people? Have them on.
I don't. Maybe I do, and I never knew.
Are we allowed to talk about this because we're white males?
That's a tough one too.
See, there's all kinds of rules in place, and it's just, someone's offended right now. Someone right now, as
Definitely
we're having this,
can't monetize this on YouTube.
Oh no, that's staying behind the paywall. This one's staying behind the paywall. I'll put it out the audio for free. This one's staying. I don't need to hear every fucking asshole on Twitter. But I don't know. These are conversations that should be had by our media. We should be talking about this freely, just like this, because they're questions everyone has. And people, I'm sorry, it's just what it is,
Yeah, but again, you're not allowed to have these conversations. You're especially not allowed to have these conversations if you're two white men who also like to be lighthearted and make some jokes throughout the conversation too.
Yeah, I like to
Like,
fuck around.
We're totally in the wrong right now. We are on the wrong side of history.
I wish I was born like in 1950 and I died in 2014. I could have skipped all this nonsense and just had to say whatever the fuck I wanted.
2014 is probably
that's when things started to kind of
yeah.
2016.
Sure.
Right before the Trump Hillary thing. That's what I should have checked out.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's good life. I saw all the cool shit, all the good movies, all the great music, all the great bands, all the good TV shows.
That like leading up to that election is when I just got off of. I think I only had Facebook, but that's when I just stopped. It was just getting too wild.
I hope we've cleared up our takes on this transgenders. I guess where I stand, I think it's fucked up. But the guy found a loophole. It definitely, I guarantee you, no one's talking about women swimming if it wasn't for this dude. I mean, this lady.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Like, no one's talking about it. Nobody gives a fuck. Would you ever? Now I'm interested. I want to know some of these other swimmers. Like who missed out on a scholarship? Who's that broad?
Yeah, but like, I don't want to see an interview of her. I want the interview of her father. Just like sitting there, just taking his fucking glasses off, just like,
yeah,
like, how do you feel?
Daughter. That's my daughter. Yeah, we're in a bad spot.
I don't know. I tell my daughter to train harder, but
yeah,
going up against
her. I mean, at one point he was my baby boy, but now he's my daughter, and this is a problem. And I love my child. I think this is why I want to go this direction with the podcast. Uncomfortable subjects and two white guys trying to figure it out.
Yeah. We're gonna go far.
I think there's a market for it because there's a lot of motherfuckers like us, like trying to have conversations, trying to show empathy, trying to understand, but realizing there's no logic to it. And then we just got to plow through. Like if I met this, I wouldn't be mean. I don't want anything bad to happen to this lady.
No. I don't want any hate crime. Anything like that. But I don't think it's right. But
I do think it's fair. We can call her a cunt doing what she's doing. That's a cunt move.
It is a cunt move.
Fucking.
She did earn the cunt word.
Yeah. People busting their ass in competition of another gender, and you're coming in with that cunt move. So that's where I stand. But I want to get a shirt made and just I want to be obnoxious and say she's my favorite athlete of all time.
It's just so fun. So like, it's so funny because the Wayans brothers, they had the white girl or white chicks.
Oh, the movie, yeah.
Like, shouldn't that be like brought up and like banned? And
shouldn't Whitey be pissed about this?
Well, right. But didn't they like the reason they did that was to play basketball, right? In that movie.
Full disclosure, Tyler, I never saw it.
I think that's what it was. They went and played basketball. I think. And so clearly, like they were able to get on the team that way because they're black dudes playing as white chicks.
Dude, I wrote a script. My only movie script I ever wrote was about a dude who was 24 years old and lost, decides to enroll into some small little town school to play basketball so he could live his basketball dreams. And then he gets really, really good and people start recognizing him. But he's actually 24 years old, just dominating these 16-year-olds. And then he falls in love with a 14-year-old. And then I go, that script can never be made.
No, shelf it. No way.
Yeah. But who could forget this? This was a classic. Hello, it's Howard Stern in blackface saying the N-word.
Good Lord.
With Sherman Hensley as the lady.
Jesus Christ.
It's amazing. This is all over the internet, and he never gets anything because he joined the Hollywood elite in that side, so they protect him. It's unbelievable. I mean, I'm saying, listen, I'm all about like it happened. You know, Jimmy Kimmel did it, Sarah Silverman, they all did it.
Right.
But if Joe Rogan were to come out in blackface, or if they found a photo of him from 10 years ago, we
would find his address immediately. His address would be plastered all over. They'd be organizing
Spotify
protests.
You're done. We're paying your contract out. YouTube, we're going to deplatform you. You're going to have to go to what's the Donald Trump social media? True or Trust?
I don't remember. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know. It's not even built yet.
Oh, okay.
He's been slacking. He did one post on it. He's got to get his shit together there.
Just to keep the ball rolling. I don't know about you, but from time to time, I like to check up on Jared from Subway. I don't know why. That case fascinates me for some reason, because it's disgusting and disturbing and weird. And this article is actually from a while ago, but I hadn't checked up on him. So I'm kind of I want to have a weekly segment called This Week in Pedophilia. So there was a news article published here on the New York Post, and I guess Jared Subway speaks out for the first time from prison, saying, I royally screwed up. So he's admitting, he's finally coming around, you know, like it's probably fucked up what I did. The jailed pedophile and former face of Subway penned a letter from prison that cited an inspirational quote from The Shawshank Redemption, great movie, by the way, and detailed his workout routine. I royally screwed up to wind up where I am. The father of two said he had a handwritten letter dated November 7, 2021, an exclusive letter obtained by the Post. I was selfish and entitled. Now, would you explain his actions were selfish and entitled?
Yeah, that's one way to put it. And also for him to say I royally screwed up to wind up where I am kind of like alludes to like I could have hid this better.
Like I should
not necessarily saying I shouldn't have done this. He's saying I should have like been more sneaky.
I literally got too sloppy and I got caught. So basically he had over 400 child porn videos in their possession. The FBI did pled guilty in August 2015 to a child pornography charge, and he had to pay, I guess, ordered to pay $1.4 million in restitution to 14 victims. He's serving 15 years, 8 months. Now, when he gets out of prison, where does he go? Like, what does he do? Does he change his name? Like,
so 400 kids. Did he ever like have contact with any of these kids, or did he just obtain this stuff? And the reason I ask is like, if he had contact with these kids, or if he made any of it, then he dies. Because if that were my child, I'd be marking the date. You know, I'd be ready. Oh, he gets out of jail today, or he gets out of prison today. He's fucking dead.
Well, I guess his wife pretty much divorced him right away, and they have no contact from what I understand. But it was such a fascinating case just because I'll tell you where it all started. I told this I apologize to anyone that's already heard the story. When I first moved to Cleveland, Ohio, I lived in Lakewood with comedian Mike Polk, who did the Cleveland tourism videos. He's on Channel 3 if you're a Cleveland listener. And we were roommates, and he worked for Channel 43 WKYC at the time. And he was working for Channel 43 The Block. And I was up for that, long story. Never happened. Anyways, he got home from work that day, and he goes, dude, guess who I just met? This was 2002. And I go, who? He's like, fucking Jared from Subway. I go, what? He goes, yeah, he was at the news station. We were in the elevator getting. He's like, at the elevator opening, he was just standing there, and he was just like, oh, hi, Jared from Subway. And he goes,
he smelled like children.
Yeah, but he said, and I remember this, and this like, honestly, early 2000s. I remember Mike going, he goes, dude, I got this weird feeling. He gave me this like child molester feeling. Like it was like,
he like
molested kids. He called it. He goes, it was just a weird look he gave me. He was like, it was really, really creepy. So when this all happened, I texted him going, dude, he goes, oh, I know. I'm all over this. Because Mike called that out like from day one that this guy was a child molester. And if you look at him, he's like the creepiest looking dude of all time.
Yeah, that's insane. Well, like a story that's going on right now, still evolving, is the ex UFC guy. I don't remember his name. He was a UFC champion at one point, but I believe it was his his son, his like 4-year-old son, was going to this daycare. And the woman who ran this daycare, her son would come over, grown man would come. It was like his little like place that he would come, and he would molest these kids, and he molested. Yep. And so this guy molested, what's his name? What's this guy's name? Velasquez. So Velasquez's son, it says 4-year-old family member, but I think someone came out and said that it was his son. His 4-year-old son was molested multiple times by this guy. They do the right thing. They call the cops, get the cops involved. The cops arrest this dude, right? And when they arrest him, they bring him in, process him, and let him out on bond. No, didn't even have to pay anything, just out with like a court date. So this guy, heavyweight champion,
two-time heavyweight,
father of the 4-year-old, said, nope, fuck that. And takes his pickup truck, fucking rams it into this dude's car, and gets out a gun, 40 caliber pistol, and shoots several times, wounding the guy's stepfather, not him. And so now he's in prison or in jail with no bond.
But the UFC fighter?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Like, you're a father.
Well, yeah. It's not a tough one at all to me. I would do the same exact thing.
No, it's a tough one, like being a father. Like you're gonna fucking don't you touch my fucking kid, you're a dead man. Fuck that. Yeah. So what's going to happen is he just have to go to trial. He's going to get acquitted, I would think.
I don't know.
You don't think a jury's going to side with this guy's molesting my kid? You don't think the jury's going to be like?
I hope so. I hope so. But if you look at it, like he shot the wrong guy. You know what I mean?
Oh,
he shot the guy's stepfather.
Well, that's my bad.
But they're in the same car. You know, I would say guilty by association, motherfucker. Like,
yeah. I look at it like he was trying, and you can never fault trying. Sometimes you got to fail first.
I agree with that. I think Joe Rogan said, like, I just wish he didn't use a gun. I wish he just beat the guy to death.
Yeah, if you got UFC mixed martial arts skills.
Yeah, slam him in the car. Now get out of your car.
Yeah, and go Van Damme.
Yeah. But nonetheless,
you literally have weapons. Your hands are your weapons. You don't need a gun, bro.
If you see that guy, that UFC fighter, if you see his mugshot, he looks completely content with what he did. You know what I mean? He looks like, yep, I'm not wrong here.
Justice has been served.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
On a cold platter of fuck you.
Yeah. So I hope he gets out, you know. I hope the jury's wise enough to see this, but you never know.
Well, listen, I wanted to go to this story just because I have to talk about it. I was saving it for our football podcast that will be out later today. You could sign up at patreon.com/rackme. But I know I have to talk about it with you too, because you're a Cleveland Browns fan, and it's not just a Cleveland story. This is a national story. This is a huge fucking story in the NFL because there's so many layers to it. Deshaun Watson signs for the most money a NFL quarterback has ever made to the Cleveland Browns. Where do you stand?
$30 million guaranteed.
What's your take? I want to listen to what you have to say before I weigh in with what I have to say.
I would say, like you said, there's a lot of layers to it. If you stuck to just football and you ignored all the civil cases against him, you ignore all of that stuff and stick to football, he is a great quarterback and a very, very clear step up from Baker Mayfield and an awesome quarterback to have. But if you go to, you know, you put everything into context, like chances are Deshaun Watson's a scumbag and did this shit to probably a certain percentage of these women, right? So that sucks, and that's not okay. There's also the conspiracy theory that the Texans owner, you know, kind of put this together, and Deshaun may have never done any of this. because it's well known that Deshaun and that Texans owner hate each other. And Deshaun was planning to sit out the full year anyways because he didn't want to play for the Texans anymore.
And on the flip side of that, Baker was planning on sitting out himself.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. If Deshaun is like guilty for sure, then the Browns, I think, really fucked up. Just from a ethical standpoint.
Well, it's clear that there are no ethics in the NFL because of what happened with Ray Rice. There's a statue
Kareem
of
Hunt,
Kareem
Joe
Hunt,
Mixon, Lyle Collins.
There's a statue of Ray Lewis outside the front of the Baltimore Ravens stadium. I mean, it really just comes down to what you do on the field in the NFL. I mean, look at former NFL players, O.J. Simpson. I mean, as long as you perform, we don't give a fuck what happens. It's all performance based. So put your money where your mouth is. The Haslam's
probably be suspended. He'll probably be suspended for, if not the whole season this year, he'll be suspended for a certain amount of games for sure.
Yeah, and that's why they constructed the contract the way it is, from what I understand.
Yeah, it's not cool.
His first year, he basically is making nothing because they're like, yeah, you're
probably $1 million. It's $1 million out of the 230, and it breaks down to like 58, a little over 58,000 per game. So really, he took a very minimal hit this year, which I think is very telling that he's going to be suspended. And by the way that was structured, he's like still going to get most of his money.
Now let's go to this angle because we're in 2022. We have to talk about all things. They just made a black man the highest paid NFL quarterback of all time. The Haslams did.
Yeah.
A man of color. The league of racism, but now he is the highest paid with allegations, civil suits to come probably. So where do you go? Is it race first, then believe all women? I think it goes race, then believe all women.
I don't even think race is a thing there. I think he would like, if all this shit didn't happen, he would have been.
But LeBron said these
MVP.
NFL owners are slave owners. I mean, they're almost like plantation owners.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Texans owner also said that.
Yeah. In a league where they make more multi-million, the only other profession business where more multi-millionaires have come out of. It's just a fact in a small percent of the population. So you got to.
It made me think. Was his name Donald Sterling, the guy who owned
the Clippers?
The Clippers. He just owned a team in the wrong league.
So in the NFL, you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, he'd still own the team in the NFL.
No, but it asks that question: like, where do these women stand? Believe all women. # believe all women, or Black Lives Matter, racism. It's such a slippery slope. As I use the word slope, if you want to use that as a bad word.
It comes down to whatever the truth is, and we're never gonna know the complete truth, whether it be the amount of women that he actually did this to.
Here's the thing. I'll break it down, guys. This is what happened. I know professional athletes, they're scumbags. They're pieces of shit. A majority of them, not all of them. They all cheat on their wives, period. LeBron's cheated on his wife countless time. I'm sure Deshaun Watson is guilty, maybe not for all of it, because some women are lying bitches, period. They lie. There's a lot of Me Too shit out there. A lot of people trying to advance their career and move forward with the Me Too movement. So I'm sure there's lying going on both sides right there. There's a lot of fabrication, but at the end of the day, Deshaun Watson's a piece of shit. He's a pretty talented quarterback. We'll see what he can do. He's somewhat injury prone. He's taking a year off, so he's going to be rusty as fuck. So don't expect a lot out of him, especially with the suspension coming up. And Baker Mayfield, I guess, isn't that good. And I didn't know that. And I guess we'll find out. And I hope Baker is the guy I think he is and sticks it to the Browns for making that decision. And I'm not going to buy a Deshaun Watson jersey. And I wonder if women will buy one because they love their quarterbacks in Cleveland.
I had a buddy suggest if you do buy a jersey, like Watson's number will probably be number 4. So just get a custom made jersey, Browns jersey with the number 4 on it. But on the back, instead of it saying Watson, it's just like a sexual assault hotline phone number.
That should be his number, not number 4. Watson 1-800 whatever. That's funny. I'm going to steal that for a tweet.
That's the It's the way to do it, you know?
Yeah. And by the way, we're going to just give number 4 to him. Phil Dawson's number. We're just going to give it to him.
Oh, good point.
I mean, isn't he going to retire?
Well, we already have a number 4 as well. So like someone else is going to have to give up that number so he can have his number.
Yeah. See, that's the biggest part of this whole is does he accept number 4? Oh, no. That should be the national headline in USA Today, not the 22 sexual allegations and the civil suits and you know.
Well, that's the other one. People said that he should be number 22.
Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. If I was, you know how these guys like hid in plain sight, like Bill Cosby would joke about Spanish Fly, and they would almost like they were like bragging they would get away with it. If he did number 22, that would have been hilarious. No, it's not hilarious. Sick. But, I just got booked in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Ooh.
If you're in Chattanooga, Tennessee, I will be there in May.
Nice.
How about that? Let's end on a nice note because I'm up against it. I got to do the football podcast. But you mail me a couple topics. You pick one.
Oh,
I'll spin the wheel. You got Pusha T. You got NFL quarterbacks. You got Daddy Yankee, Lakers, Babylon.
Shit. If we just do something nice and fun, let's just do Daddy Yankee.
Daddy Yankee, because we just did pedophiles, we did transgenders, we did sexual assaulters. Now we got Daddy Yankee. Daddy Yankee is the king of reggaeton. What the fuck is that?
Reggaeton. The do.
No clue. As soon as I read it, I go, what the fuck is this? He announced that he's retiring at the age of 45 from a profession I didn't even know existed. The Puerto Rican-born rapper made the announcement on video he posted on his social media. And again, I don't know who these fuckers are until they die or retire. So now I'm getting to know Daddy Yankee, and I wasn't looking for it. And now I have to hear about his retirement. Who is this fucking guy, and why should I care, Tyler?
I mean, he's a big time rapper.
Never heard of him. But
to come out and say you're retiring, like, who has anyone else ever retired from music? Like, don't you just kind of just stop making music? Like, how do you retire from music? What the fuck does that mean?
Well, some people say, I think some people retire. I would think
they just stop making music.
Well, it's kind of like retirement. He says in his song, was it Gasolina? Has taken the new life on TikTok due to high gas prices. And a statement, today I'll be announcing my retirement from music by giving you the best production and the best concert tour. I never heard of this fucking guy. I will say goodbye, celebrating these 32 years. 32 years? From what?
Music.
I've never heard of him. I like to think I'm pretty in the loop.
I think you would recognize some of his songs. So he's that. What that just say? He's gonna go on a farewell tour.
Was he on tour before? I don't know.
I'm gonna say. So what is he just selling? He's just selling tickets by saying he's retiring. Then
who's buying these tickets? I need call in right now. Write in. Actually, I need to find out who knows who this guy is. I need to know why he's got news articles and he's all over the internet. I don't know. Why am I not informed?
He's huge. He's huge.
I should be huge. Just Sit Down Zumock should be huge. Why aren't we huge? Why is this guy huge? This guy stinks. He's on TikTok. I'm on TikTok.
You should start making reggaeton music.
Like Jim Florentine's Waiter video has 5.7 million people have seen it. So I don't know if that's something.
That's something.
I got to go Chrissy Mayer and find a brand. I need a brand comic. I need to be like Bert Kreischer. I'm a party animal. I got to find this audience.
You got that. You got to just have that one story, you know?
Being an honest white guy is not doing it for me. It's not happening. No one's jumping on board with honest white guy who speaks from the heart, who doesn't conform, who doesn't pander to a certain side. I need to start doing something. Brand. That's why I think if I root for this lesbian swimmer, or not lesbian, fucking woman swimmer. Where the fuck? If I just start rooting for a hardcore, that's my brand. Like I'm like open-minded or something.
Yeah. I mean, you and like a sea of others.
Like what she's doing is great. And it's like, she really is like Jackie Robinson, just blowing motherfuckers away.
Good God. It's the Harlem Globetrotters of swimming.
Yeah, she's treating the women like the Washington Generals. I think we did some work today, Tyler. I think we're killing it right now. I think we're changing lives.
Definitely changing lives.
No, I do look forward to this. It's almost therapeutic because I see these headlines and I just see the chaos, and it's good to talk to you about it because I've known you for so long. You don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. And we just call it out, and it's refreshing because I'm in a profession where people are out of their fucking minds. They're crazy.
Yeah, I will say, I think a lot of people, like as far as Deshaun Watson goes, also agree like he's a scumbag.
Yeah,
and totally against that deal. I mean, realistically, he probably should have just kind of disappeared and never had another shot in the NFL.
I know an NFL player, and I'm sure you do too. I'll tell you off air because the only reason I'm not naming the name because I don't hate the guy, and he's always been kind of cool to me. I haven't spoken to him in years. But I follow him on Instagram, and he's always posting photos of him kissing his wife and holding his kids. And I know for a fact all the women he's fucked behind her back.
Good guy.
And he's a good NFL player. He had a great career, and I'm just like, all right. And they're like, you're such a good husband. You're such a good. So I know all the phoniness that goes on with these guys. They're multimillionaires. And to their defense, these women throw themselves at them, and they know they're married. And I'm sure the temptation's so hard, like especially in this stage of social media.
Well, of course, because also you know, if you're a rookie, just got drafted, you're doing awesome. You're doing great. You're getting a contract extension. You're young 20s. And you
go to a restaurant,
tens of millions of dollars.
You go to a restaurant and people still pick up your tabs and buy you drinks and they take photos with you. And then these whores want to go home with you that night. I understand. And if I was 20, I would be doing that too. But it's just so, and I'm not saying you should ever force yourself upon a woman. Fuck that. I am all about consent. If a girl ever said no, I'm like, okay, 100%. I'm out.
It. Yeah.
I've never had to put myself in that position. If a girl was like, I'm not, I'm like, no problem. So if these scumbags keep pushing it, but I do like that Daniel Tosh joke. If no meant no, every guy would die a virgin. He goes, no means work on the neck, the nipple, and check back in 10 minutes. But don't force yourself upon women. Frowned upon. From me. That's my message.
It's a good message.
Yeah, there it is. Tyler, where can people find you?
Just my website.
Hit this guy up, guys. Get some freelance work done. Get some audio, some video, editing, anything. He could take care of you. He takes great pride in his work. And I take great pride in my work. Ladies and gentlemen, go to chadzumock.com. I'm going to have tour dates coming out all month long of what's next month? April? I got shows every weekend, and then in May I just got booked in Chattanooga. What date is that? This is just an exclusive. This just happened. May 20th and 21st, I will be at the Catch Comedy Club in Chattanooga headlining. I'm looking forward to it. It's a great club. I did a guest set there years ago, and it's a fucking gorgeous club. It's so much fun. But I'm going to be all through Florida the month of April. I'm at Winter Haven at the end at Laugh Out Loud. I'm in Vero Beach. I love that fucking town. That's at the end of April. I'm in Melbourne, Florida. I'm in Naples. I'm all over. And then, like I said, August, I'm coming to New York. I'm going to be in fucking Bahamas in June. I got stuff coming up, chadzumock.com for all your tour dates. And again, sign up to the Patreon for as little as $3. You can even do a $1 donate button because next month, I'm sending it to my buddy Jesse. I got a nice tax refund. I want to hook up my brother. And that's that. Again, 5-star review on the iTunes. We will see you next Wednesday. That's a wrap.